Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. I want to welcome you to your favorite sport podcast, where a common voice meet global sport intelligence. I am your host, Kyle Ojo, and I'll be breaking down the world's biggest sports stories with sharp analysis, with honesty, and with the passion that it truly deserves. Today, we'll be discussing more on Arsenal Football Club chances of winning the Barclays Premier League and the last 11 matches for the Gunners and the last 12 matches for their arch and closest rival, Manchester City. That will be our major focus of this major point of discussion. I beg your pardon, major point of discussion. Now let's go to our major discussion for today, as we have the discussion of is what is the possibility of Arsenal winning the Barclays Premier League after, in the wake of Arsenal 2-2 draw, disappointing 2-2 draw against bottom place Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now it is pertinent to actually begin to reconsider the possibility of Arsenal winning the league. Don't forget, in my previous podcast, I gave a total breakdown of the possibility of Arsenal winning the league, ranging from their squad in depth, from their togetherness as a team, the bonding that has been built by Mikel Arteta in as many seasons that he has been in the club, particularly for the past 3 seasons where they have been second in the league. And I feel that they have all it takes to actually go all the way in the Premier League. But from that time till now, where the Gunners actually drop points, particularly that one, the one they drop against Wolverhampton Wanderers, actually make us to begin to imagine in the last 11 matches, can Arsenal actually, do all they can to actually get a better result than that of Manchester City for them to be crowned the champion of England since the last Invincible in 2004 that they won it just more than 2 decades ago, and Arsenal have actually tasted the Premier League crown. Now, in the last 11 matches of Arsenal, we have Arsenal will be playing Tottenham Hotspur this weekend, and a match, Tottenham Hotspur was a match that Arsenal won the last time they met in the Premier League. Arsenal defeated Tottenham 4-1, and then we have a match we'll be playing against Chelsea at home, in which they drew 1-1 the last match they played before their EFL Cup, semi-final clashes. They also be playing Brighton away, Everton home, AFC Bournemouth home, and Manchester City, which might be a decider in this title race, away right there at Etihad Stadium. Then we have playing matches against Newcastle at home, Fulham at home as well, West Ham away, and Burnley home, and then the last London derby clash that we have against Crystal Palace. One of the many few things that I can tell you about this Gunners team is that they generally drop fewer points this season, and they have been solid defensively compared to most clubs. Now, Arsenal defensive metrics actually, go in line with the goal they conceded and the expected goal against them actually show that they have strong control to actually be strong defensively. And to be frank, Arsenal has actually tried to avoid defeat in numerous matches, which has shown resilience in tight fixtures. And of course, in one of these matches, Mikel Arteta came out and said, well, we don't have to actually play beautifully to actually get results, and that's one of the traits of a champion. And I still feel Arsenal has all it takes. The game, the title is still in their hands to play for. And the good part of all of these matches is that in many 11 matches that they need to play, the only teams that they dropped points against was against Chelsea and against Manchester City, and they drew those matches 1-1. Every other 9 teams that are left in the remaining matches that they have in the reverse picture, they actually needed 3 points. They need. Can they do that in the remaining part of the season? That is left to see for us. Now let's look at Manchester City last 12 matches as well. 12 matches ahead of them as well. They have match against Newcastle United, and they'll be playing. Newcastle is just coming from a whitewashing of Karabakh in the UEFA Champions League. Maybe it can be a motivating factor for them to actually get a good result against Manchester City. And don't forget, in the reverse fixture of this match, Manchester City actually lost the match. Now, could that be a positive to the Gunners? But I tell you, when you look at it critically, it might not be a positive. It might be a motivating factor for Manchester City to actually come out smoking and get the needed result. Then we have a match against Leeds United away, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Chelsea away, and then the match which they drew, Arsenal home, and they drew as well in their reverse fixture. Burnley away, Everton away, Brentford home, AFC Bournemouth away, and the last fixture for Manchester City will be against Aston Villa. Aston Villa as well, who are chasing UEFA Champions League qualification. That can be a very, very important factor in deciding who wins the league. As this same in the reverse fixture of this match, Manchester City lost out to Aston Villa. So in the last 12 matches of Manchester City, they've lost in the reverse fixture of these matches. They lost 2. Why Arsenal, their last 11 matches in their reverse fixture, they only drew 2 against Chelsea and against their title contender Manchester City. Now, the strength of this Manchester City team is that they are strong in winning streaks and resurgent under Guardiola. So when they have the possibility of winning matches under Guardiola after having a bad run of form, Guardiola has usually have a way of actually getting the result. And then don't forget, Manchester City firepower is actually there with Erling Haaland leading the goal chart in the English Premier League. And if they are fully fit, of course, the remaining matches is something they can actually grind at. But historically, by experience, Manchester City, led by Pep Guardiola, has the potency to actually close down title towards the end of every season. If you look at the multiple successful championships they won, that was exactly what they used to actually win these league titles. And so if you look at the psychological factor from the coach perspective, you will know that Mikel Arteta actually has brought Mikel Arteta leadership has brought resilience to the team. But in the past 3 seasons, it has not actually given them the much needed strength that they need to actually grind to go consistently to get through the thin line and win that league. Now, recent drop 4 points for Mikel Arteta team is a very critical factor that Gunners out there should be looking at. What if they drop any other points in the remaining matches of this league? Or they drop points against Brentford disappointingly, they drop against Wolverhampton Wanderers disappointingly. Will they be able to do away with that and win their matches? While Manchester City, they have the mental strength. Guardiola actually has an unmatched experience in title races, which usually translates to composure under pressure late in every season. Like I said earlier, the Guardiola team actually have a way of composing themselves, knowing that the title is theirs to take, and knowing that their wins will always put pressure on the league leaders. Arsenal is something that they've actually been consistent in doing, even though some squad members are new to this winning mentality. But the club culture and expectation remains very much elite under Pep Guardiola. And I tell you, Arsenal, who has not won the league since 2004, but I tell you, they have the momentum and they have the statistical advantage to actually go all the way in the remaining 11 matches that they have ahead of them. While Manchester City, on the other hand, they have won multiple recent titles, but the ability for them to sprint late in the season, which is what is lacking for Arsenal, is what Manchester City has as an edge. If Man City win against Newcastle United, the point between the two of them will be 2 points. As it is now, it's 5 points. But Manchester City having a game at hand, who are having 12 matches, they have a game against Newcastle United. Should they win, the point will be reduced to 2 points. And I like to have your thoughts on this discussion. Do you think Arsenal can go all the way to win this league title by getting the better result in the last 11 matches, better result ahead of Manchester City? Or do you think that Manchester City led Guardiola we have what it takes to overtake Arsenal and actually go straight to win the title? I'd like to hear your comments, your responses in the comment section. And on that note, that will be a wrap on today's episode. I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to give special thanks to Almighty God for the success of today's podcast. I'd like to thank my headline sponsor, The Box Lagos, located at number 63 Adekunle Banjo Avenue, right here in Magodo Shangisha, a place where you can come and have a lot of fun with their salsa nights, with their karaoke nights, with their football watch parties, lot of celebrity hangouts, and so much more. Find your way down to The Box Lagos, guys, and you will never regret it. New episode will be dropping every week. This is your favorite sport podcast, where football meets with intelligence. I'll see you in the next one.